John likes tech and lives in Indiana, you know. Kevin likes the Dodgers and talks on the radio. John plays games on Xbox and on his Nintendo, while Kevin runs around LA with his mustachio. It's the Lack of Genius podcast, in your ear holes at last. They don't know they're Mars from Venus, that's why it's the Lack of Genius podcast. With dancing this time. It's episode 3 of the Lack of Genius pod. Kevin here, I'm waving my arms and John is bobbing his head along
just bouncing around.
along to our own theme song. We're on episode 3. Welcome. John, it's good to see you.
You too.
We are, John is getting extra credit for today's episode because we're diving into regional restaurants.
We are.
And John, go ahead, John.
Well, I just know that, we're doing White Castle, In-N-Out. For those that are vegetarian, I get it. You may not want to necessarily listen to this one a whole lot, but do know White Castle does have a couple vegetarian options.
There you go.
They've got a veggie burger. They've also got the Impossible Burger, and I did buy one of those today.
Wow.
And it was pretty tasty. So
look at John already repping for the White Castle. So John being from the Midwest in Indiana is repping White Castle today. I am in Los Angeles and I am repping In-N-Out Burger, which also has a vegetarian option, meaning it's actually just a grilled cheese, but you can eat food there if you do not eat meat. So yeah, we're pretty excited about this. In-N-Out is definitely one of my favorite restaurants, as it is for, that's not an original thing to say for someone from Southern California. A lot of people love In-N-Out, and John literally got White Castle. I saw him eating what I believe is a slider as we logged on today.
Chicken slider.
Chicken slider. He proved me wrong. He went with the chicken, not the beef.
Well, I've got a bacon cheese one as well underneath it, so it's there.
A little bit of everything. Well, so if you're new to our podcast, we do a quiz every episode where John and I make a quiz for each other on our areas of expertise. So I am my area of expertise today, where I am the genius, is In-N-Out, and I'm going to try to prove John's lack of genius on In-N-Out by giving him a quiz. And John is quizzing me on White Castle. These quizzes are available on our website, lackofgenius.com. Mm-hmm. And so, we encourage you. These quizzes go up a week before about 4 days before we go live with the episode. So you can take them, test your knowledge on the subject, and then see how we did compared to you.
Yeah. Real quick, though, before we go into that, I think we've got some follow-up. If we made mistakes in the last episode, or if we've got anything else we want to talk about real quick, that's what this little section is for.
Yes.
Start off with a celebration of we've had over 100 listens so far.
Yeah. The century mark. We reached it.
Yeah.
We're really excited about that.
Yeah, hopefully here, either after this episode or the next one, we'll hit the 200 mark and can just keep growing that way. But we've hit 100.
Yeah, I don't want to speak on behalf of John, but I think he shares this sentiment that I'll never be able to express enough gratitude to you listening, because literally otherwise it's just me and John talk. We could do this on the telephone, and we do. Yeah. Trust me, we do. but it's just so great to have people listening, paying attention, taking our quizzes, interacting. We want you involved. So thank you if you were one of those over 100 listeners who have listened to our first 2 episodes so far.
Yeah. Kevin, I think you had something.
I did, yeah. So we like to clean up any errors that we made in the last episode. So last episode, we were focused on the 4th of July. I focused on The Sandlot. I realized I never even explained that, some people didn't even realize why that was a 4th of July movie, or they kind of did, but there's a scene in it where they're playing baseball. One night a year, they can play baseball, a night game, because there are fireworks in the sky and the sky is lit up, but they inevitably end up being distracted by the beauty of the fireworks. And don't even play a game. But that is why it's a 4th of July movie to me. So just want to clear that up. And then secondly, John and I were both sharing that one of the first scenes that pops into our head is the scene where they're throwing up on the, we called it a merry-go-round, but it's like a whirly.
Carousel.
Yeah, it's like a carousel. It's like a fast carousel. It's like a whirly ride. And I said that the vomit was made out of molasses and bacon, if you remember that fun fact. It wasn't the vomit I was talking about. I was wrong on 2 fronts there. And oh my gosh, now I'm blanking on it. It was the chaw. It was the tobacco that was made out of bacon bits. And wow, I'm already forgetting what it was. But it wasn't molasses. And now I'm just leaving everyone hanging. At some point, I'll come back to that. Yeah, I made a mistake with what the vomit was made out of. So they got to eat bacon instead of chewing tobacco, which was very nice for them.
Yeah. And I think on Instagram this week, we might put up a poll. we did have a comment where it was said that I had the better radio voice than Kevin. I don't believe that, but we may put a poll up on Instagram as to who has the better radio voice, the one that actually works in radio or the one that doesn't. And we'll have the results next week.
And you know what was funny about that comment to me is that because I actually work in radio, and so there is a difference between, like, I don't know how to say this, like a radio voice. Like, a lot of people think a radio voice is, hey, it's a radio announcer guy, you know? And I do think that I have a little bit of that, even though I don't necessarily want to. I want to come off as like a listenable, relatable person, like you're talking to somebody in a room. And when I am being too announcery, I don't feel like I'm accomplishing that. So now I'm getting into splitting hairs, but that is a great question. It was, by the way, Licorice and bacon bits was the chaw for the Sandlot, the chewing tobacco.
That just sounds horrible.
If you like black licorice, you might like this. I do like black licorice, so I think I'm in.
Yeah, I don't, so.
No, that's a hard pass for John.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Well, okay, so with the business tidied up, we can move into our quizzes, yeah?
Yeah.
So John, again, has prepared a quiz on White Castle for me, which I'm opening, and I have prepared a quiz on In-N-Out for John, which I believe he's opening.
Yep.
Okay, question number 1 on In-N-Out Burger for John. If you order a protein burger from In-N-Out, what unique characteristic will you notice about the burger? A, the patty will not be salted. B, the patty will be 4 ounces instead of the regular 2 ounces. C, the bun will be replaced by lettuce. Or D, there will be lettuce, tomatoes, and onions on both sides of the patty. A protein burger from In-N-Out. What do you think, John?
I'm guessing this came about during the whole just eat protein and no carb diet fad. So I'm guessing the bun will be replaced by lettuce.
Is that what you're choosing?
That's what I'm going with.
Nice job, John. Man, for some reason I was hoping that one would get you and you'd choose the 4 ounces instead of 2 ounces. That's what I would have gone with. Yeah, In-N-Out is... when's the last time you had In-N-Out, John? Or have you had In-N-Out?
I have had In-N-Out once, and that was in 2017.
Okay.
2016.
Were you over here in Southern California, or where were you?
I was in Sacramento.
You're in Sacramento. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I have never had a protein burger because I just like my traditional burger. I don't want no lettuce wrapped around my meat. I want a bun. So that's just where I stand on that. But great job, John. You're 1 for 1.
Thank you. You ready for your first one?
Yeah, bring it on.
This former White House employee starred in a movie centered around White Castle. John Cho, Kal Penn, Barack Obama, or Kiefer Sutherland?
God, it wouldn't it be great if it was Barack Obama? I know the answer to this one because I went to college and I watched this movie a bunch. Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. It is one of the first things that probably pops into my head when I think of White Castle. The movie starred John Cho and Kal Penn, but Kal Penn, I believe, is the one who went to work at the White House. That's my choice.
You are correct.
Yeah, Kal Penn. Do you have any more information on that?
Yep, he was the former associate director of the White House Office of Public Liaison.
Wow. Yeah, he's still acting. I forget. I just saw him in something recently. He's a great actor. It's so funny because Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle is a stoner movie. It's kind of a joke, but it's hilarious. But for him to be able to have a second career in the White House and as a serious actor, that's mad props to that dude. Yeah,
I think he also taught at a university for a while as well.
Wow.
So
mighty impressive.
Yeah.
There's still hope for all the stoners out there is what we're saying. All right, let's go on to number 2 for In-N-Out. This is for John. Which of the following states does not have an In-N-Out burger? Which one of these states does not have an In-N-Out burger? Is it A, Colorado, B, Utah, C, Idaho, or D, Oregon?
I'm going to go with Idaho because besides there being large amounts of potato farms as well as national parks, I don't know what else there is in Idaho.
So based not on any In-N-Out thoughts, just the fact that Idaho has nothing is why you're choosing Idaho?
Well, I'm not saying Idaho doesn't have nothing. I'm just saying besides the potato farms and national parks.
You're right. You did acknowledge that. Idaho is your guess?
Idaho is my guess.
You got it right. Good job. Yeah, that was a good one. In fact, I should have done the research. I would bet that a lot of our potatoes, a lot of In-N-Out's potatoes come from Idaho, but I do not know that for a fact. In-N-Out just kind of slowly started expanding, starting in the 90s to other states. And they have reached as far as Colorado and Utah and Oregon, but Idaho does not have any. So Boise, if anyone from Boise is listening, start that petition now and see if you can get something other than just potatoes in your state. Get an In-N-Out in there. All right, good job, John. 2 for 2, man. And I'm 1 for 1. So far, so good.
So known as the first fast food place, what year did White Castle open?
Wow.
1921. 1945, 1890, or 1934?
These are all way older than I would have guessed. If I had to just choose blindly, I would have said White Castle probably opened in like the 70s, the 1970s. But the most recent date on here is 1945. I don't think it went back to 1890. I would be pretty impressed if that was the case. Yeah, first fast food place. I just think that 1921 and 1934 are a little too early. So I am going to go and guess 1945. That's my answer.
Incorrect.
Dang.
When I showed you the box, I even hit it specifically. But as you can see, it's the 100th anniversary this year.
No way. So 1921.
1921, yeah. And the founder was born in 1890.
No way. So he was a 31-year-old gentleman when they opened.
Yep.
Look at that math. You didn't know I could do math, did you, John? Blew you away there. That is, I should have taken the 1921 as a clue, sort of like, why would he choose 1921 instead of 1920? But you're a smart guy. You would choose random numbers like that.
Yeah, maybe.
Very strategic play with covering it up. All right, man. That was a good one. I would never have guessed that White Castle's 100 years old. That's very impressive.
Yeah.
Okay, number 3 for In-N-Out, John. You're 2 for 2. So here we go. Number 3. Most In-N-Out locations feature 2 palm trees in front. With what unique distinction? A, they're painted red. B, they're crossed like an X. C, they each have a hole to put your face into for photos. Or D, they meet at the top to form a triangle.
Oh, I'm trying to remember what it looked like the one time I've been.
And to be fair, not every In-N-Out location has this, just as many as it's suitable to have. So yeah, most of them do have this. There's 2 palm trees in front, and what is unique about them?
Are they live palm trees or just they make them?
I can't reveal that to you. The choices are they're painted red, they're crossed like an X, they each have a hole to put your face into for photos, or they meet at the top to form a triangle.
I'm kind of torn between the first 2. Painted red and crossed like an X. I could see the X, meaning, X marks the spot. This is where you should come.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the colors for In-N-Out being kind of white, red, and I think some yellow.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see them being painted red. But I think I want to go with the X. They're crossed like an X.
Crossed like an X is your final answer?
Yep.
Good job, John. Oh, I thought I was gonna get you. Yeah, you're right that the cups and the bags and the even the fry little boats that they come in. Most people think of the cups. They have these red palm trees going around them, so that's why your memory served you right about the red. They are crossed like an X, and most people say exactly what you did, and I would have done the same. Like X marks a spot, come meets here. It's actually because the founder of In-N-Out loved the movie "It's a Mad, Mad, Mad World," which I've never seen. They did sort of a remake of it called Rat Race in the '90s. It's the idea of like people racing around the world, racing around to win some money, and at the end. Spoiler alert, the treasure is buried under palm trees that are shaped like a W. And the middle of the W are 2 palm trees that are crossed like an X. And so that's a little homage to that movie that In-N-Out pays by having those palm trees out front. I thought that was pretty cool.
Did not know that.
Nice job, John. 3 for 3, man. All right, let's see if I can... So far, you're doing better on these quizzes than I am in our 2 non-us episodes. But let's see how we do on number 3 here.
True or false? The burgers have holes in them.
I don't even know what that means. That's like Swiss cheese having holes in them. It doesn't say the cheese has holes in them. It says the burgers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's the immediate thought going through my head. This is such a random question that it has to be true. I'm not choosing true yet, Because
Yeah.
my other thought on it is maybe John wants me to think that. Maybe John just said, let me choose some random fact. I'll say the burgers have holes in them, and I'll put it up there so he'll choose true. And I don't know which one I want to do. The burgers have, see, now I'm going down like, I could see them putting holes in them because maybe the oxygen gets inside the meat and helps it, get plumpier or taste better. Wow. I'm going to kick myself if I don't choose true, and it is true. So if it's false, you got me, John. I'm choosing true.
It's true.
Yes.
They started doing it in 1947.
Okay.
And they put 5 holes in it, so like one in each corner and one in the middle. It helps the steam it. They steam it. It helps it cook faster. They say it adds more flavor.
Wow.
They even secured a patent for it.
That is something I never would have guessed or known.
Yeah.
I got to be honest, John. I came into this quiz thinking In-N-Out versus White Castle, man. What does White Castle have on In-N-Out? White Castle's got some history.
It does.
Yeah, it's a unique place. I am getting humbled right now by this White Castle knowledge.
Well, I mean, and this isn't one of the questions, but they were like one of the very first places to put a coupon in a newspaper.
Wow. Here's what I'm learning is these guys were ahead of their time in terms of marketing. You know, in terms of saying, let's have a fast food place where people can come and get their burgers fast, not sit in. Let's put coupons in the newspaper to get more people to come in. These are like commonplace things now, but they were ahead of the curve.
Yeah, I mean, the coupon was for 5 burgers for 10 cents.
Well, I don't see why anyone would pass up that offer. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, John. Great questions so far. Let's go on to your 4th In-N-Out question where you are 3 for 3. What was the first non-California city to open an In-N-Out? In-N-Out, of course, was founded in Southern California. I did not add this question, but it was the first In-N-Out was in Baldwin Park, California, which is a suburb of LA, and it branched out from there. So which of these non-California cities was the first In-N-Out open in? Was it A, Phoenix, Arizona, B, Tucson, Arizona, C, Portland, Oregon, or D, Las Vegas, Nevada?
I mean, I feel like Portland would be a little too far away from Southern California to be the first to open. But at the same time, Portland is, likes to keep it weird.
They do. That is their motto.
Also, from watching so many TV shows, apparently, everyone in LA likes to drive to Las Vegas. So I could see them putting one in Las Vegas for, all the Southern California people that drive there.
They're accommodating to us, aren't they?
They are. I mean, if they can get people there, then they'll spend money. So I think I'm going to go with Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, final choice?
Yep.
Wow, John. Oh my gosh, you're just schooling me, man. You're getting these right. Yeah, Las Vegas, Nevada. 1992 was the first time they opened a restaurant outside of California. It was Las Vegas, Nevada, and I didn't read a whole lot on, but I would guess it very much has to do with what you just said. And as someone who grew up, I was a kid in the 90s. My family didn't go to Vegas that much, but because believe it or not, it's a nice little. It's a lot of families will go. Really, it's probably like parents who have a gambling addiction and just find an excuse to go to take their family. But families can go and stay. Like we stayed at Circus one time, and it was cool for the kids. But I remember going and I remember seeing it In-N-Out and being like, wow. Like, I thought that was only California, and so you kind of knew growing up here that there was just one In-N-Out somewhere else, and it was Las Vegas. So, great job, John.
Yeah. So the next question, you get some pictures to look at.
Ooh, this is fun.
Yeah. So what famous building in Chicago are White Castles modeled after?
Wow.
The first one is Willis Tower, which everyone knows of as Sears Tower.
Uh-huh.
The Water Tower Pump Station.
Okay, yeah.
The Rookery.
Rookery.
Or Auditorium Building.
Gotcha. And if these places don't sound familiar to you, I have the luxury right now, and you do too, of going to lackofgenius.com and seeing the visual aids on the quiz page, number 4. So there's a picture of each building, which is helping me. These are beautiful buildings. They're old buildings. I'm not going to choose it. The one that jumps out is Sears Tower because it was the tallest building in the world for a long time. But I don't believe that's it because that feels too modern of a building. Here I go playing. I'm like, is John playing games with me? Is he playing head games with me? Because there is one that the Water Tower Pump Station, when I look at it, there are what looks like a castle structure on the left and right, like the towers of castles. And it is White Castle, so the water tower pump station really looks like what I would guess they would model it after, whereas the Rookery and the Auditorium building are nice buildings, but they're a little more standard. Rookery's got some nice, I don't even know the right word, but decoration on it, just nice adornments. But I gotta choose the water tower pump station. That's my choice.
Correct.
Yes.
Outside of the Sears Tower, the Willis Tower, the other three are all fairly within the same time period. The pump station and the Rookery are from the 1850s, 1860s.
Wow.
And the Rookery was actually the place where the main architect for the Chicago World's Fair worked out of.
Cool.
And then the Auditorium was one of the first big opera houses in Chicago, and actually was designed by the guy that Frank Lloyd Wright learned from, Louis Sullivan.
There's a lot of history in Chicago, too, which I guess I kind of knew that, but that's pretty neat.
Yeah, Chicago, known as the Windy City.
Yes.
It's not actually because of wind.
Oh, really? Why is that then?
It's because of the Chicago World Fair. Before that, all the architects and politicians were very noisy about how, they were better than New York and everything like that, trying to convince the World Fair to be held there.
So like they were just blowing a bunch of wind, meaning like like New Yorkers would be like, oh, Chicago, that's the windy city. They're just blowing a bunch of wind, like that kind of thing. That is hilarious. Yeah, because I've always kind of heard Lake Michigan, I think, right, is the one right in Chicago. Like I've always heard it's there's a cold chill that comes off of that lake, but it's not actually that there's a bunch of wind that comes off of it. I'm sure there are days where it's windy. But...
Oh yeah, I mean there's definitely windy days, but that's because of them being boisterous and stuff like that.
Fun fact, John. That's a good one. Thanks for sharing that, man. That's a good one. All right. So if I'm not mistaken, I'm 3 for 4. Yep. I missed one of them, and you're 4 for 4, trying to make it perfect with number 5 here.
Haven't been able to do it yet.
This may be a historic moment in the Lack of Genius podcast. Here's number 5 for you, John. What is the most recent item added to In-N-Out's official menu? Is it A, hot cocoa, B, lemonade, C, milkshakes, D, chicken tenders?
I don't think milkshakes, because I remember those being an item on the menu when I was there a few years ago. Lemonade seems to be a standard. A lot of places have lemonade. Kind of torn between hot cocoa and chicken tenders. And hot cocoa would be kind of odd to me at first because, Southern California doesn't get cold enough to where you'd want hot chocolate.
Hey, we get down to 58 degrees here.
Yeah, try negative 20 sometime. or negative 10 even.
Yeah, I couldn't handle.
But then chicken tenders, chicken's been a massive thing lately on menus with, the chicken sandwich wars and stuff. And I mean, Arby's even just added chicken nuggets for the first time.
Mm-hmm. I do love me some Arby's, I'll be honest.
Their chicken nuggets are pretty tasty.
I have not tried them, and I will now.
I want to say chicken tenders.
And are you going to say chicken tenders?
I'm going to say chicken tenders.
Sorry, John. Oh, man. It was hot cocoa. Hot cocoa. I'll get to the question in a sec. This is the second week in a row that you went 4 for 4 and then missed the last one. So this is going to be the ongoing, jinx moment for you.
Right.
Very good deduction skills, though. Very good deduction. And you're right. Hot cocoa does seem like an odd choice. But it was added in 2018, I believe it was. Maybe it was 2013. I should get that straight. I'm sorry, I don't have my fact sheet in front of me. But it was within the last 10 years or so, and they did add it in winter. So it with the chilliness, I think they were trying to capitalize on people getting their pumpkin spice lattes and whatnot. In-N-Out is very much known for having just a very simple menu. You get your cheeseburger, you get your double, you get your fries. And the thing that most people know is the not so secret menu. It's a secret menu where you can get animal style fries, which is a secret sauce with pickle, like it's chopped up pickles and grilled onions put on top. You can get your burger animal style. You can get the protein. Like none of these are on the actual menu, but if you ask for it, you will get it. There's a lemon up, which is 7-Up and lemonade mixed together. There's all these just little things that the employees know, but hot cocoa has been officially added.
Now I know.
Now you know. And so now I have a chance to tie you
You do.
I'm 3 for 4. You finished 4 for 5. I got to get this right to at least tie it.
Mm-hmm. Where was White Castle started?
Wow.
Chicago, Illinois. Indianapolis, Indiana. Minneapolis, Minnesota. Or Wichita, Kansas.
Great question, John. Because, the previous question talking about Chicago and talking about how the restaurants themselves were, or at least the logo was what was the question? It was molded after
the buildings.
The building in Chicago, yeah. What famous White Castle's modeled after? And so, I want to say Chicago, but I'm worried that that's, again, just what you want me to think. I'm guessing it was probably founded in a smaller Midwestern town. Not that Indianapolis or Minneapolis are small, but they're not huge like Chicago. Wichita, it could be Wichita, but I'm not paying attention to that. So that may be my fatal mistake. I don't know why. But Minneapolis, Minnesota is just jumping off the screen to me right now. And I don't have any other reason to pick any of the other cities, so I'm going to pick Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Incorrect. Now, Minneapolis does happen to be where the first location that they started modeling it after the pump station in Chicago was.
Is that right?
It is. But that's not where it was started.
That's not where it was started. So fill us in, John.
Wichita.
It was the one that I ignored, of course. Okay, so lesson learned, Kevin. Next time you're ignoring an answer, pick it. Is that where the founder's from, or what's the story there?
I don't know if that's where the founder is from, but that's where the first White Castle was.
That's where the first one was. And In-N-Out is Baldwin Park, California. So I think that Baldwin Park, California, and Wichita, Kansas need to become sister cities, and they can take care of each other because they both started incredible burger chains.
Could be.
Dude, I think we got the exact same results as last week, where you got 4 for 5 and I got 3 for 5.
Yeah, I think so. So do I need to make my quizzes a little bit easier, or?
I was going to say, or do I need to make mine harder? I got to say, John, I'm very impressed with your deduction skills. Like, it's not always that you know what the answer is. It's just you work it out. Did you do good on standardized tests back in the day?
I did decent. I don't remember scores, but
yeah, you're good. You're good deducer. You're a problem solver. Whereas I'm a little too emotional and quick. I'm just like, I'm just gonna go with this because I don't want to think too much. So
it might be the science training I've had.
That's true. Scientific method coming into play here. Well, that was a lot of fun, man. I still will. You know what? I don't think I've shared this yet. I have not had White Castle ever in my life. But I have to add that, I'm gonna be the California guy that says like nothing is ever gonna be In-N-Out, of course. But to be fair, I've never tried White Castle, so it's kind of not a fair comparison. But I am an In-N-Out boy, tried and true, that's for sure.
Well, if you ever come out and visit, we'll get some.
Yeah, when I go play hide and seek on your farm, that's when we'll be eating our White Castle sliders. All right, John, great job. So we're ready for the next episode. It'll be episode 4 already. We're on a roll.
Yeah.
And we are going to dive into 2 of our favorite shows. Would you say yours is, you go ahead and talk about yours. Is this your favorite show of all time?
Well, I mean, it's definitely favorite franchise.
Uh-huh.
Because there's more than one series of Star Trek.
Star Trek is what John's going to be focusing on.
Yeah. And so I guess, it's favorite franchise.
So one of John's favorite franchises, Star Trek. He'll be quizzing me and you as a result on that. And I am going to go with the television show Survivor. I would not go out on a limb and say this is my favorite show of all time. It's a show that I love, and I would almost call it a guilty pleasure, to be honest, because I sort of feel a slight amount of embarrassment when I talk in public about my love for Survivor. I feel like it's one of those shows that people are like, oh, Survivor's still on the air? Wow. Yeah, it's still on the air, and there's 40 seasons, I think. I think they're going into season 41 or maybe even 42 right now. I should figure that out and maybe put it on as a quiz question. But I have loved the show for a long time. My family and I always, I'll get into this next week. We watch it together. We have a good time. And I'm going to quiz you about Survivor, and we look forward to having you, the listener, join us and take these quizzes along with us.
When it comes to Survivor, I think there's one thing that they're totally missing out on.
Which is?
And I know it's because they want to try and keep people as naked as possible for the viewing.
Uh-huh.
They should do it somewhere cold.
Yes, I have had that same sort of thought. They're always on an island, or they've done seasons in Australia and Africa and the various places. I shouldn't give too much away because I may need these as quiz questions.
Right.
Now, what I will say is they have had rain just pouring down on them where these people are freezing, and so But you know what? They'd probably die if they were in Antarctica. So maybe that's why they haven't done that.
Yeah, I mean, they could do Alaska or something like that. I mean,
give them a ration of clothing, right?
Yeah.
Well, we'll get more into that next week. John, great job today. We again thank you, listener, for your participation. Please say hi to us on socials and tell your friends if there's anything you like about this. We'd love to have you spread the word for us.
And I just remembered another fact about White Castle that Don, our friend Don from Manchester, he sent me a message one night, and he was like, "This is a fact that I always tell people whenever I can when someone mentions White Castle."
It's his fun White Castle fact.
It is his fun White Castle fact. If you ever go to a White Castle, it's always very white and stainless steel and things like that. And that is mainly because they were trying to make it feel as clean as possible because of Upton Sinclair's book, The Jungle.
Yeah.
Which was centered around, the meat industry and everything. And it just kind of made everyone uneasy about it.
Gotcha.
So they stylized it that way to try to make it seem sanitary. So they were trying to change that perception of cleanliness and stuff like that. So thank you, Don, for that information.
Thanks for that fun fact. Yeah, look at that. You can share your fun facts with us, and we'll share them on the podcast. We seriously, we'd love any information you have, or if you heard us say something that wasn't right, feel free to call us out, because I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean, like Kevin was saying, you can reach out to us. I mean, you can message us directly if you've got our info, or you can reach us at lackofgeniuspodcast@gmail.com, or you can leave a comment or a review. Definitely leave reviews. I know we've gotten some 5-star reviews on the Apple podcast.
Thank you.
I think they're up to like 6 or 7 now.
Let's make it 8 or 9, baby. Come on.
But no one's left an actual review.
Ooh.
Besides the stars.
Write some words.
Definitely, write some words. Let people know what you actually think.
I would love it if someone left a review that said, "I swear John and Kevin didn't pay us to write this." And then write your review. That would be fantastic.
There may or may not be money involved there.
We'll pay you in White Castle sliders, okay? Yeah, we're so grateful for you being on this journey with us. We're having a blast. Looking forward to sharing more with you. And with that, John, are we all wrapped up?
I think we're good.
That's the Lack of Genius podcast, episode 3 in the books. Thanks for listening. It's the Lack of Genius podcast in your ear holes at last. They don't know they're Mars from Venus, that's why it's the Lack of Genius podcast.